Conan O'Brien warned comedians being so anti-Trump can cause them to lose their comedic edge.
O'Brien sat down for a conversation with Oxford Union on Tuesday, where he said comedy needs a straight line to go off of, which doesn't seem to happen these days. Let's take a look.
People saying, we've got a great Trump sketch for you. In this one, he's kind of talking crazy. And he's saying stuff, and he tears down half the White House to build a giant ballroom. And he says it's going to be the new Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, no, that happened yesterday. Oh, well, where's my check? You don't get a check. Come back to me and tell me when you've got an idea. And so comedy needs a straight line to go off of. And we don't have a straight line right now.
The former late-night host and podcaster pushed back on the idea that the current time comedians are required to be more serious and less comical. Let's look.
Any person like that would say, well, things are too serious now. I don't need to be funny. And I think, well, if you're a comedian, you always need to be funny. You just have to find a way. And you just have to find a way to channel that anger into a way that is, because good art will always be a great weapon. Will always be a perfect weapon against power. But if you're just screaming and you're just angry, you've lost your best tool.
Yeah, I think what he's getting at is basically correct, and I don't know that Conan's in great standing with MAGA world necessarily, but when you think of past portrayals of presidents by, for instance, like SNL or something, they're funny because they exaggerate the characteristics of the person, like Will Ferrell playing Bush, or Dana Carvey back in the day playing H.W. Bush. H.W. Bush is not an inherently funny person, but his portrayal was funny.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton, whoever the guy was who played Bill Clinton on SNL, he was really funny. Trump is himself, he is, regardless of what you think about him, he's not intentionally, but very funny. He has exaggerated mannerisms and speech patterns and behavior himself. He moves in a comedic way. So the portrayal is not really adding any, the various SNL portrayals they did, like Alec Baldwin, who people loathe personally, I think is funny in a lot of contexts. He's really funny on 30 Rock. He's good in a bunch of movies. His portrayal of Donald Trump was just not funny at all because it was less lifelike and evocative and exaggerated and humorous than Trump himself is. So they have not really exactly succeeded with a way to portray him, is what I would say.
I say you hit the nail on the head. We have watched, it's almost like laughable because of some of the sad reality of like when we see an auto pen photo up in the White House for Biden, or some of the antics that the president does every day, that it's almost like comedy is usually this relief from the mundane day-to-day news topics that we talk about. And even when comedic artists add current political events into what they're discussing, I think the whole thing being about Trump has been getting old. If you think about it, people have been mocking the president since, what was that first White House Correspondents' Dinner where he was so pissed off that everybody was coming at him and Obama was president. So we're talking about like 10, 12 years of mocking the president. It's like getting exhaustive for people that are viewing it. But I think like Dave Chappelle is an example of somebody who does a good job of talking about current relevant events, but still being funny, but then taking a serious tone when he wants to and backing away from it. Or also just not talking about specifically Trump, just talking about a wide variety of things, like most recently the fact that he performed in Saudi Arabia and all the pushback and then made that a funny line. And so I think that there's a way that comedians could like take a break from Trump, like we get it, we all are living it, we understand it, without losing all funniness and not talking about politics at all. There's still some funny stuff that happens in politics every day.
Even South Park, which I find very funny on a lot of subjects, has not really come up with what they're doing now with Trump. So they did something really weird. So for a while, they actually killed the Trump character off replaced him years ago with Mr. Garrison, who's the teacher of the kids, who's like he's a crazy character. They made him the Trump character. He like puts the orange wig on, and then I thought the Mr. Garrison Trump was very, very funny because it's the Mr. Garrison character thinking he's Trump. Now they wanted to actually criticize Trump this season, so they got rid of that, and now it is actually Trump.
The guy came back from the dead, or they just moved on?
Or they said he never. I don't know what happened, but
Okay.
and it's actually Trump's face on the Trump character, and I know it's not as. I think it's not as funny. I think
you're
the
over
Mr.
it.
Garrison thing was very funny, and this is not as funny.
You even just describing the Mr. Garrison thing seems funnier.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to go back
I
and
miss the Mr.
that might be what I do this
Garrison
weekend.
trail,
I don't know if it's good for Kinsley to watch. I might just do it.
She's like
She's 4.
3?
She
Yeah.
can't watch
No,
it.
she's too young for
Just
that.
me.
Too young for that.
I'm just going to watch it myself.
All right, well, that does it for us on Rising Live. Thanks for watching, and look out for more exclusive YouTube content coming your way later today. And please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Hill's YouTube channel so you should never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, now available anywhere you can listen to podcasts. We'll see you later. Take care.